Hello and welcome. My name is Biagio Mazza, Pastoral Associate here at St. Sabina Parish in Belton, Missouri, and I'm here to welcome you to another Do You Know series question. Today's Do You Know question is, do you know what the 5 pillars of Muslim belief and practice are? In order to understand the 5 pillars of Islam, it's very important to realize that they're closely aligned to both Judaism and Christianity. Similar basis and similar understanding in many of the key pillars of Islam. It's important too to realize that in 1965, the Second Vatican Council actually affirmed our intimate connections with Muslims in a paragraph that they inserted in the declaration on the relationship of Catholics to non-Christian religions, known as Nostra Aetate. I would like to quote from that to show how the Second Vatican Council actually understood and articulated some of the key teachings of Islam. This is from Nostra Aetate number 3. The Church also has a high regard for Muslims. They worship God, who is one, living and subsistent, merciful and almighty, the creator of heaven and earth, who has also spoken to humanity. They endeavor to submit themselves without reserves to the hidden decrees of God, just as Abraham submitted himself to God's plan, to whose faith Muslims eagerly link their own. Although not acknowledging him as God, they venerate Jesus as a prophet. His Virgin Mother they also honor, and even at times devoutly invoke her. Further, they await the day of judgment and the reward of God following the resurrection of the dead. For this reason, they highly esteem an upright life and worship God, especially by way of prayer, almsgiving, and fasting. That summarizes 3 of the 5 pillars of Islam, and I would like to just briefly articulate what those 5 pillars are. The first pillar in Islam is the creed, and the creed in Islam is very simple. It merely states that there's only one God. There's no God but God, and that secondly, Muhammad is the messenger of God. That's the simplicity of the creed, and all that a person who desires to be a Muslim must publicly affirm the creed and begin to live according to that belief. There's no baptism formula in Islam other than the affirmation of the creed. The second pillar of Islam is prayer. Muslims are obliged to pray 5 times a day. They stop during the day to remind themselves of God's presence in their lives in the midst of the daily activities so that they don't forget where God is present in all of their life's daily activities. They see prayer as a sign pointing to God, always reminding themselves that God is present in all of life. The third pillar of Islam is fasting. Fasting is done primarily during the month of Ramadan, and in which it's a very severe fast from sunrise to sunset, that nothing is to touch their lips. They can break the fast before and after sunrise or sunset, but not during it. The primary purpose for the fasting is to purify their own self-purification, their own passions and desire, and to attune themselves to the needs of others, especially the poor and those who are in need, who go without food and water a good bit of the day. The fourth pillar of Islam is almsgiving. Crucial in any religious tradition to attune oneself to the needs of others, and to realize and to become aware that God gives us the gifts of the possessions. They're not ours, they belong to God, and it is our duty or responsibility to share with those who are in need. And so almsgiving is the fourth pillar in Islam, crucial to its beliefs and practice. And finally, the fifth pillar of Islam is pilgrimage. The desire, not necessarily an obligation, but a desire and a willingness to actually travel to the holy sites in Mecca in Saudi Arabia, and to get in touch with the spiritual traditions, to get in touch with God, to get in touch with the holy place, and to form a universal brotherhood and connection to the holy. So these are the 5 pillars of Islam, which really undergird and really are the foundation for the very basic beliefs and practices of all Muslims. I hope this has clarified some of the key beliefs and practices of Islam and how really they are connected very intimately with Christianity and Judaism, and how the Second Vatican Council affirms the need to understand, grow in respect of, and mutual dialogue so that we can together establish a world of peace, understanding, and true justice in the world. So I hope this has helped clarify that for you, and I hope that you will return again to be more in tune with some of the further explorations that we will do in our Do You Know series. Thank you very much.